Hi everybody, Ricky here from Burford Great Danes, a faith-based Great Dane breeder. I'm going to start something that I've been wanting to do on here, and that is getting a little bit more into the faith part. And what that means for me. So faith-based, when I say almost on every video, faith-based breeder, is what I'm trying to do is like intertwine God, my religion, my spirituality with the thing I love in life, which is dogs, Great Danes, good people, family, God. So I'm just trying to kind of intermix everything, and that's okay to do. You know, like a lot of people, I post stuff on social media, and some people don't love it. Some people kind of made fun of me or got offended, or some people loved it, you know, and that's okay. You know what? Do your thing and your people will show up. Like the people that are meant to show up in your life will show up. So just kind of what you need to do is stay true to your heart movement. And that's what I've been doing here. I've been posting videos every day. You could go back. Sometimes they're 1 minute clips. Sometimes they're a little bit longer. Sometimes they're about dog breeding. Sometimes they're about God or spirituality or my children, my family. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for those that show up and watch it and follow me. And, you know, you're here for me and I'm here for you. And it's all about a community and building a community of people that have the same similar interests, right? Like the people that, it's just like your tribe, you know, like there's tribes in life, and, you know, and in life you go through many different phases, right? In different tribes. When I was younger, I kind of hung out with, you know, the wrong crew. First I went to Catholic school, and then I started getting into a little bit of trouble, started hanging out with the wrong crew. Then I got into a little bit of a better friendship type tribe, and now my family, right, has become my tribe. So like, and the dogs are a part of it. So, you know, again, what I want to do is I want to start kind of intertwining a lot of my spirituality. So this is a book that I just ordered on Amazon. This is by Dr. Wayne Dyer, one of my absolute favorite, you know, they call them the father of motivation. And he's sort of a motivational speaker. He's very spiritual. He's not locked into any religion, so this may work for a lot of people. He's just kind of just a good-hearted person, and he is so comforting to me. I often turn to this man in many phases of my life. So this is a book, and I like this because he doesn't do many of these like classes. Like, you know, like Tony Robbins, you could go to an event and you could kind of immerse yourself into something. I like kind of holding myself like accountability. So this book appealed to me because it was like 21 days. So there's a time frame there. It's not just an open book that you could read anytime. So what I plan on doing is I want to read a chapter a day on here on YouTube. So you could join along. I'm going to kind of read it, maybe highlight some stuff, and just kind of like go over how I feel about that chapter. And hopefully you guys could comment and let me know what you feel about it, you know? So, and the chapters are pretty quick, so these videos won't be that long. I'm sorry about a little bit of the extended intro, but, you know, it's kind of hard I'm trying to make this all work. Because again, the dog breeding is a love of mine, God is a love of mine, family is a love of mine. And I'm just kind of trying to make all of that work. So anyway, so this is 21 days to find success and inner peace. Live with gratitude, connect to spirit, and find purpose, strength, and joy. All right, that's a lot. And that sounds appealing. Sounds good. I'll take this on. So every day, today is the February 26th. So day 1 of 21 days together. So I'm going to read to you. I'm not the best reader reading out loud, but you know what? That's okay. I'm just going to do it anyway. Do stuff that's uncomfortable. It's good for you. Like this is not so comfortable, but just like there's a reason. There's a reason I ordered this book at this moment. By the way, Wayne Dyer has passed a few years ago, but you can find his stuff on YouTube. Books and all kinds of good stuff is out there for you. He left a beautiful legacy. Okay. Day 1. Be open to everything. Be open to everything. What does that leave out? Nothing. Be open to everything. That right there alone is like tough. Like, I don't know, there's certain things that I don't care for, but it just kind of means like live in a space of just be open. Don't judge. These are the kind of things. And because I know a lot of his teachings, I'm going to kind of get into things right away of like what I feel about certain quotes or readings. Okay, be open to everything. One of the fundamental keys to success and inner peace is allowing yourself to be open to the infinite array of possibilities in your life. This is our topic for today. So I may have to reread some things because sometimes one of the fundamental keys to success and inner peace. And I'm going to stop there because when he means success, he doesn't mean like wealth and all, we all think the money thing is important until you have the money. And then you're like, oh, well, there's other stuff like, peace. Inner peace is probably the number one thing. But, it's hard to say that when you don't have money. So usually money is like the first thing people ask for. And I absolutely understand that because I come from a lack. I come from a survival. I don't come from much. I may have to go peek my daughter. I'm listening to her. Dutchie's here. Hey, Dutch. Okay. So, having a mind that is open to everything sounds easy until you think about how much conditioning has taken place in your life and how many of your current thoughts were influenced by geography, the religious beliefs of your ancestors, the color of your skin, the political orientation of your parents, your size, your gender, the schools that were selected for you, and the vocation of your great grandparents, to list only some possibilities. So real quick, I'm just going to go back here because right away something got my attention. So, having a mind that is open to everything sounds easy until you think about how much conditioning has taken place in your life. So conditioning means how we were raised, the circumstances, like what we were taught, how we were taught, through teachers, through family, through life situations. And that's your conditioning. And early conditioning stays with you for a long time. And that's like, a lot of people as we get older, like we're in the movement of reconditioning. So kind of like, because a lot of the conditioning is not your true nature, right? It's like, dad loved this kind of food, so I'll love this kind of food. Or dad did this kind of work, which means a lot for, a lot of times people follow their family's footsteps in work. Dad was a mechanic, I'm a mechanic, right? Or it's the family business. But your true nature, your conditioning may be different. You may want to do something else. And that's what a lot of, life is about. It's like, finding your path. Like at the moment, I'm in the antique business. I basically buy and sell antiques, high-end furniture, buy and sell like I had a thrift store for a little while. I did flea markets. I do a lot of high-end auction, like we send stuff to auction, and that's my father's design. My father owned a antique store, and guess what? That's what I learned. That was my conditioning, and I ran with that because it's like, oh, this makes money. I'll just stick with that, and I'm doing that to this day. But it's not my true movement. It's not my true nature. This is. the dogs, God, family, spirituality. So I'm doing this part-time until it becomes full-time. So that's that. I'll get back to these chapters. Might be a little longer because I might be talking a little much, but that's okay. Hopefully it's something will resonate with you. Where did I leave? There may have been some adults who encourage you to have an open mind, but if you're honest with yourself, you know that your philosophy of life, your religious beliefs, your manner of dress, and your language are a function of what your society and its heritage determined was right for you. If you made any fuss about going against that preordained conditioning, you probably heard even stronger voices insisting that you get back in line and do the things the way they have always been done. Fitting in superseded having a mind that was open to new ideas. So basically it's like no, I don't think I want to be a mechanic. I think I want to be a baseball player. And Dad's like, but you'll make a lot of money. Look, I raised a family being a mechanic. Why try doing that when this is the sure thing? So it's like, get back in line. Our true nature is free. Your spirit wants to be free like a bird. It just wants to expand and try things. And what they're saying here is a lot of times in life, it's like you may try to, and then it's like, get back in line. Don't try that. Don't do this. That's, and usually there's like fear, like, that's not going to work for you. You might, so it's like kind of fear-based, and there's all of that. So, whatever the reasons our ancestors may have had for not having open minds, it's truly that they inhibited a much less populated world than we do. In today's overpopulated world, we simply cannot continue to live with those old styles of closed-mindedness. Well, that's true. With the internet these days, it's like, you've now expanded. So it's almost like it or not, conditioning, ancestry, stuff that's holding you back, things are starting to loosen up. Like, you got a phone, right? You have the internet. Your world is totally open, so which is a great thing. It's expanding you as long as it's used the right way. Everything means just what it says. No expectations. When someone suggests something to you that conflicts with your conditioning, rather than responding with, that's ridiculous, we all know that's impossible, say, I've never considered that before. I'll think about it. So I'm going to go back here. Everything means just what it says. No expectations. When someone suggests something to you that conflicts with your conditioning, rather than responding with, that's ridiculous, we all know that's impossible, I've never, instead of that, say, I've never considered that before. I'll think about it. You see what I mean? Like, hey, Mom and Dad, I'm going to be a baseball player. I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to do it. Major League Baseball player. And they're like, no, don't, that's ridiculous, right? Or these are things we always, I'm going to write a book. That's ridiculous. Get back to your job. That's safe. Stay safe. Be careful with staying safe. It's very uncomfortable. So, let me go back. Open yourself up to spiritual ideas of all people and listen with an open mind to crazy schemes and ideas that at first seem to be outrageous. If someone suggests that crystals can cure your hemorrhoids, that natural herbs can lower cholesterol, I could use that people will eventually be able to breathe underwater, or that levitation is possible, listen and be curious. So, like, don't judge, right? Like, somebody says something, you're like, all right, yeah. Or like, especially when children, like when my son are like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm like, yeah, sure. Absolutely, babe, you'll do it. But it's like, listen with an open heart. Don't judge. Don't critique. Just be available and be open to the possibility of maybe. I urge you to open your mind to all possibilities, to resist any efforts to be pigeonholed, and to refuse to allow permission into your consciousness. Having a mind that is open to everything seems to me to be one of the most basic principles that you can adopt to contribute to individual and world peace. No one knows enough to be a pessimist. Find an opportunity to observe a tiny little green sprout emerging from a seed. When you do, allow yourself to feel the awe of what you're seeing. The Sufi poet Rumi is an amazing, R-U-M-I, Google Rumi. Rumi's poems are unbelievable, his poetry. The Sufi poet Rumi observed, "Sell your cleverness and purchase bewilderment." Now, this is big to me because I sometimes think I'm so smart and I'm too clever. And instead of like quieting down and listening to people, I feel like I've been programmed to know the answer right away. So I'm like, as soon as somebody asks something, I'm like, oh, like I don't get an opportunity to slow it down. So stop being so clever. And like my wife will probably say, stop being such a wise guy or so sarcastic. Sell your cleverness and purchase bewilderment. So bewilderment is like, wow, right? Like everything around you is all new, different. It's like in a state of awe. The scene of an emerging sprout represents the beginning of life. No one on this planet has even a tiny clue as to how all this works. What is that creative spark that causes the life to sprout? What created the observer? The consciousness, the observation, and the perception itself. The questions are endless. Nowadays, scientists in this space program can move a tiny vehicle on Mars via remote control. Invisible signals take 10 minutes to travel through space and arrive to make right turns and instruct a scoop to pick up some Martian real estate to examine. We all marvel at such technology feats, but think about it for a moment. In an endless universe, Mars, our closest neighbors, is the equivalent of moving a billionth of an inch across the page you're reading. We move a little vehicle on a neighbor next door, and we're so impressed with ourselves. There are billions and billions of planets, objects, and stars in our galaxy alone. And there are uncountable billions of galaxies out there. This planet is a speck in a incomprehensibly vast universe that has no end. Think about this. If we found the end, would there be a wall at the edge of the universe? If so, who built it? Even more perplexing, what's on the other side of the wall and how thick is it? How can anyone be a pessimist in a world where we know so little? A heart starts beating inside a mother's womb a few weeks after conception, and it's a total mystery to everyone on our planet. In comparison to what there is to know, we are only embryos. Keep this in mind whenever you encounter those who are absolutely certain that there's only one way to do something. Resist being a pessimist. Resist it with all your might. We hardly know anything at all in comparison with what there is to know. Can you imagine what a pessimist who lived only 200 years ago would lived 200 years ago would think about the world we live in? Airplanes, electricity, automobiles, television, remote controls, the internet, fax machines, telephones, cellular phones, and so on. I'm not sure how many people use fax machines, but this book's probably a little older. And all available to us because of that spark of open mindfulness that allowed progress, growth, and creativity to flourish. So people had to think out of the box to create all this. And what of the future and all of your tomorrows? Can you picture faxing yourself back to the 14th century, flying without machines, telepathically communicating, demolecularizing yourself and rearranging yourself on another galaxy, or cloning a sheep from a photograph of a sheep? An open mind allows you to explore and create and grow. A closed mind seals off any such creative explanation. Remember that progress would be impossible if we always did things the way we always have. The ability to participate in miracles, true miracles in your life, happens when you open your mind to your limitless potential. I mean, that's big. Miracles happen when you open your mind to limitless potential. That's tough. Not easy. This stuff is not easy. But we're working on it. And maybe this book will help us get there. The miracle mindset. Refuse to allow yourself to have low expectations about what you're capable of creating. As Michelangelo suggested, the greater danger is not that your hopes are too high and you fail to reach them. It's that they're too low and you do. So, don't be scared of having expectations or some dreams that are out of reach. The low ones, it's like the low-hanging fruit, right? That's easy to achieve. Have within you an imaginary candle flame that burns brightly regardless of what goes before you. Let this inner flame represent for you the idea that you're capable of manifesting miracles in your life. In every single case of a person experiencing a spontaneous healing or overcoming something that was considered to be impossible, the individual went through a complete reversal of personality. Complete reversal of personality. They actually rewrote their own agreement with reality. To experience godlike spontaneous miracles, you must have a sense of yourself as godlike. The scriptures say, with God, all things are possible. Now tell me, what does that leave out? The scriptures say this. With God, all things are possible. All. A mind that's open to everything means being peaceful, radiating love, practicing forgiveness, being generous, respecting all life, and most important, visualizing yourself as capable of doing anything that you can conceive in your mind and heart. So capable of doing anything that you can conceive, think of, in your mind and heart. Whatever universal law that has ever been utilized to manifest a miracle anywhere, anytime, and in any person is still on the books. It has never been repealed, and it never will be. You possess the same energy, the same God consciousness to be a miracle worker, but only if you truly believe and know it within yourself. So this is like a knowing and a true believing. Understand that what you think about expands. Understand that what you think about expands. So you want to be really careful what you put your attention on. As a man thinketh, so is he. If your thoughts are filled with doubt and you have a closed mind, You'll you'll of necessity act upon those closed-minded doubts, and you'll see evidence of your thinking virtually everywhere you are. On the other hand, should you decide, make no mistake about this, it's a choice, in parentheses, make no mistake about this, it's a choice, to have a mind that's open to everything. And then you'll act upon that inner energy, and you'll be the creator as well as the recipient of miracles. Miracles will be showing up for you wherever you are, it says. You will experience what Walt Whitman meant when he wrote, "To me, every cubic inch of space is a miracle." God bless. That's day 1. Tomorrow, day 2. Be attached to nothing. That's a tough one. So, God bless. Thank you for joining me. Hope this helps you. Today's day 1. It's not easy. It's not easy to stay consistent. But there's a reason we're doing this, and there's a reason you're joining me. Let's do it.